Welcome to // and a couple of Zs. And apparently a door opened, and our cat wants to go there. What is this? This is a secret CIA. What the? That's a ridiculous amount of gear. And a lot of redundancy. So either a laser, either it seems it's like a storage. Maybe it's a CIA headquarters or just some lonely dude. Oh, we can get up there. Okay, there's another camera. Okay, it nods to us. Okay, zeros and ones. Let's tell another tale. Once upon a time when I was in school, I learned about how a computer works, and in a very basic principle, it's very very simple. A computer understands 0 and 1. At least the computers right now. We do have quantum computers coming up later, not yet, and they can be in both states at once, so they can either be 0 or 1 at the same time, which is ludicrous to think of, but right now a computer can either be 0 or 1. In your head, imagine you have a little knob, and it either is on or off, and on is 1, off is 0. And for example, if you want to write a message, for example, hello, you just have to know the computer is programmed, the computer understands. For example, I'm just giving you an example, it's not correct, I'd have to look that one up. For example, H is, for example, it's a bit system. So I don't know, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, whatever. And if you write hello, you have this combination. So that was an H, then you have an E, for example, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, whatever. And if you press the button, the computer automatically translates it into zeros and ones. So at the end of the day, this computer game is a giant combination of zeros and ones. Our teacher back in the days explained it to us in a very basic way. He gave us a torchlight, or flashlight, whatever you wanted to call it. Let's not call it a torchlight, let's call it a flashlight. And he said to us, imagine your friends that live across the street, and you want to convey a message from point A to point B. Back in the days when I was in school, no, people didn't have so many smartphones. It was the first wave of phones anyway. And then we had rules, we had information, for example, on, off, for example, was A. And every letter had a certain combination of on and off. And then he tasked us to convey a certain amount of messages to each other. So, for example, you wanted to say, do you want to meet tomorrow, 3 o'clock? And then we were tasked with conveying that into zeros and ones. Of course, the correct way. As I said, it's a bit system, so bit, 8. I'm not sure, we have bit, we have byte, we have megabit and bytes and gigabit, byte, whatever. That's also quite interesting topic if you think about hardware storage. You might have noticed when you buy, for example, 4 terabit of data storage. That is 4096 gigabit because of this bit system. But if you actually open the drive in Windows or Mac or whatever Linux, you might notice you do not get 4096 gigabit of available storage, because there's a conversion rate from byte to bit, and there's this certain amount of storage that is written on the package, but you're never going to get that one. And the higher, the bigger the space, the greater this gets. For example, if you buy 16 terabit storage, you're getting less than 15 terabit in effective space. So that's something you should always have to keep in mind. And every processor, every type of storage device, all of that, it's just ones and zeros, because a computer only understands ones and zeros. And it's not the same state. It's just either on or off. thousands, millions, trillions of little switches on, off, on, off, off, on, off, off, on, off, 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 on, off. That's how a computer works. And now there's Google and a couple other companies, and they're right now trying to create the next evolution, the next stage of technology, and that is quantum bit. Quantum bit knows 1 and 0, yes, but it can be both at the same time, which is magnificent. But we're not there yet. Okay, what do we have? A couple knobs. And that was an interesting story. There's a channel on YouTube, and he's making videos about emergency calls that radio towers, planes utter. For example, emergency, I don't know, you're on a private jet and your pilot goes goodbye, heart attack or something, unconscious. And then you're a dude without experience flying a jet. And then you're going to radio the tower, emergency, emergency, emergency. And then you have to land the fucking plane. And there are interesting stories. One dude, he was clever. The first problem, of course, is you might be able to find the radio and tell the tower, I have an emergency, and the tower will then tell you, where the heck are you? Because they don't automatically know. And that dude knew how to use a transmitter. So there was a little black square box, and there were knobs. Right, like that! Yes, you're seeing that in the middle. There are 3 knobs, and above there are 2, 4, 6 little squares. And it was quite similar, and in every one of these squares there was a number, and under each of these squares was a knob. And when you turned the knob, the number changed, and that was the frequency of this device that was signaling to other devices. And he had to change that to the emergency frequency so the tower could get his location. And then they told him to drop down, so to again, is an amateur. He never flew a plane, but the people in the back, they were all afraid as heck, and he was super, super, super calm. And then he got lower. They told him, get lower, get to the coast. And then they asked him for his phone number. And then a flight instructor talked to him and told him, explained to him how to land this freaking plane. And this dude, with no experience whatsoever, with certain death as the only alternative, he managed to land the fucking plane. And these stories are goodness gracious. Okay. And he was only able to do that because he knew how to operate a fucking transmitter. Because he knew, turn the knob, number changes, then they know where I am. Without that, he'd have a big problem. And there are a lot of stories like that. Or, for example, sudden engine failure. Especially smaller planes only have one engine, and especially the propeller ones. The ones without any real, well, jet-powered engine. When the engine fails and your only propeller goes goodbye, you're fucked. And those stories on this YouTube channel, I don't really remember its name, but I'm sure if you write descriptive letters into, I don't know, for example, emergency call, visualized, something like that, and this dude who makes this channel also makes graphics and maps, and he shows you where at a specific time, which height, what happened, and it's very interesting. And it's just magnificent to know that first there are people who can manage that, and if something like that happens, you still have a chance. And you don't need to know everything. You just have to know how do you contact the tower, and then you have to remain calm, and someone is going to explain to you what you have to do. And you don't need to know anything beforehand. You just have to be calm. You can't panic. If you panic, you're dead. Everybody's dead. So whenever something unforeseen happens, do not panic. If you panic, it's over. Your muscles are going to clamp, your brain's going to shut down, and you're not going to be able to save yourself and others. So whenever something happens that frightens you, overcome your fear and stay calm. That is what saved that dude's and his family's and friends' lives that day, simply because he stayed calm in the face of certain death. And dude, that was a hero. Not sure if he got a medal or something. I mean, he saved everybody's life. But he certainly deserved one. Okay, so we have old HDDs. Is it 5.25? The size of them? Yeah, I still have a couple of those. I mean, they're already 10, 15 years old, and only one ever had a defect. Properly stored, without too much written on it, or too much write times. Cycles. They still hold up pretty well, and you should know, of course, nowadays we have old HDDs, we have SSDs, and then we have NVMe SSDs. And there's a certain difference between the flash storage and these old hard drives. These old hard drives, they have a spinning disk, and it stores data with a physical writing arm, and it also can delete, of course. And if you want to store something for a long time, an SSD was not good. SSDs, if you do not give them juice, energy, for a prolonged period of time, for example, if you store them to 10 years in a closet, chances are that they'll fail and lose data, maybe even all of their data. But HDDs, the ones there, with a physical writing arm, they hold up very well, even over prolonged periods of time, without any energy. These are just susceptible to physical damage, for example, if you store them incorrectly. You should never, ever bump them, or otherwise physically attack them, damage them, and you should always think about there's a physical arm inside of this, so gravity is important. So do not turn them around over, shake them. You need to be quite careful with these, but if you do, these make for awesome storage devices. Okay, so there's a lot of tech I just talked about. What do we have here? More tech, a security camera. Goodness, what's that kind of panel? Output. I can't read the antenna. Power, the yellow. The heck is this? Maybe this is the control station for all of these security cameras. 001, 045, 050. Can we do anything here? No. What is that? That's not a 3D printer. Okay. Obviously we have to jump up and get the lever down. To put this in somewhere. I mean, there are these four. I mean, there's obviously a slot somewhere where we have to put this in. The question just is, where is it? These. So the question is, which one do we need first? Let's try it out. I mean, all of these are connected to this kind of 3D printer. I'm pretty sure it's not a 3D printer, but I don't have another word for that. So I'm just going to call it a 3D printer, this one. This device here with these 4 columns, each corner with a black bottom base. And there's this part up, there's a key, and there's a box. Even though I'm pretty sure this is just maybe for power. But who knows? Let's see what happens. Oh, I can't take it out of there. Oh, let me guess, we have to find 4 of these. Ah, okay. No, it's not voiced. It worked! I'm free! Thank your mighty cat! I couldn't believe the cameras. A cat in the Dad City. A living creature. Oh my God. I can't remember my name. It seems my memory is corrupted. I've been trapped in the electronic network for so long. I know I worked for a scientist who lived here. For now, you can call me B12. That's what it says on my exterior, at least. But it's not dash, it's slash. Never mind. It is dangerous in the Dead City, but you seem like you know how to handle yourself. Let's get out of here. Follow me. That key unlocks the door. I remember that much. Oh, let me get that one for you. Oh, now we have a companion. We can give him commands. Okay. Battery low. Come over here. You're going to have to put this on, kitty kitty. That's not what I expected. That's okay. This backpack was designed for small quadrupeds like you. Is this uncomfortable for you? Don't worry, you'll get used to it. I have digitized the key and stored it in the backpack. Oh, we have an inventory system. Okay, so it's a bit more complex than I thought. Examine. Okay, there's an HDD, a ridiculously small one. I mean, hideously small. But there you can see the circular section. Under that one, there are different technologies. Right now, we also have helium-filled HDDs. There's this arm, and it's writing. It's physically writing or deleting. Yeah, I'm not going to explain the rest to you. What do I do with this? Rotate, switch item. No memories. How do I memory? Ah, sensors detecting memory data at proximity. Oh, that's interesting. Switch category. Okay. Interesting. So obviously there's this panel on the wall, depiction of some beach scene with a boat and sand and water, a lot of it. Easy. If you're ever curious about an object, you can show it to me, or to others if we come across any. Now let's get out of this flat. Keep it. So the code is 3748. Look at this place. That elevator in the distance, that's important, I think. I know we need to go up. I mean, is a bit ridiculous that this town as it is conveniently placed back. What the? Corruption. So not only machines, but biological corruption. A bit like the Swarm, StarCraft, something like that. I did not expect that. I thought it was a machine robot world, but this physically, biologically induced corruption into this human settlement, that's unsettling. I remember the outside. It feels like I've been there before. Is this where you come from? Yeah. I promised someone I would go there. Promised who? Why would a robot promise? This postcard, this mural, was painted from it. Let's take it. How did it take it without any arms? Is this a simulation? Is this Matrix 2.0? Yeah? Ah, I can see right through you. What? Why do I have these memories? How did they get here? Let's keep going. Well, it's a bit disturbing.